voice that keeps on calling me. Down the road, that's where I'll always be. Every stop I make a new friend. Can't stay for long, just turn around and I'm gone again. Maybe tomorrow.
Very clever. Jimmy G and Master Control pulled out the theme song from The Littlest Hobo for us. Remember The Littlest Hobo but the dog? Yeah. Because we are talking about dogs, we are talking about those incoming regulations that will be affecting Canadians who are trying to enter the U.S. with their dog. We've been seeing some back and forth on this question because there are big worries about how this was going to shake out for dog owners, how many hoops they would have to jump through, never mind their animals, in order to qualify to get across the border. And we have seen some relaxation of the U.S. requirements. So here to help sort it all out for us, we welcome Dr. Lynne Bouchard. She's president of the Association of Quebec Veterinary Doctors in Small Practice. Dr. Bouchard, thanks for your time this morning.
Hi, good morning.
What is the latest on these rules that are coming in August 1st? What do dog owners need to know?
Well, so far we have the confirmation that the rabies vaccine will be mandatory. So the dogs will need to be vaccinated against rabies. And the microchip is also mandatory. So those two are very important. And to be valid, the vaccines need to be done after the implantation of the microchip. So this is very important to know. The good news that we have is that the papers that will need to be signed by a veterinarian will only need to be signed by your family veterinarian. So far the government veterinarian won't have to sign it, which is a good news because it's not easy to get an appointment with an official veterinarian.
So that reduces one element of the paperwork. I had heard from people who are affected by this ruling that there was even some question about like the forms being available because it's not a usual requirement to have to go that extra step to get kind of the government approval on this. Now, what about the concession on microchips? The dogs do have to be microchip, but not a specific microchip. Is that a reference to a manufacturer or a type of microchip?
Yes, it's a type of microchip. So at the beginning, they said that we will need a microchip that is recognized internationally, what we call ISO microchip. But now we don't need an ISO microchip as long as the microchip can be read by any device. So that's the good news also. Maybe some dog won't have to have their microchip replaced.
We had heard that Canada was trying to talk the Americans into a grace period or some type of an arrangement or an agreement, an understanding that would prevent the situation where people turn up at the border with the dogs and are turned back and see their summer trips go belly up. So far, there's been no indication that there would be a grace period. Is that the sense you're getting as well, Dr. Bouchard, that the Americans may not be moving in that direction?
Yes, so far we don't have any information about this. So far, no confirmation, and the 1st of August is coming very fast. So I would say let's not hope. We could hope for it, but don't count on it.
So your directions and your best advice to dog owners who are hoping to cross into the U.S. after the 1st, is it too late now to go and get all this sorted out at vets? This is only, we're less than 2 weeks away. Is it too late for most people who are planning to travel that first week of August, or can all this be sorted out?
Yeah, well, it depends. If your dog is not vaccinated and gets rabies, unfortunately, it's too late because the vaccines has to be done about a month, 28 days before you go into the U.S. So for those, it's unfortunately too late. But if your dog is already microchipped and up to date with his vaccines, it's still possible. It might be hard to get an appointment with your veterinarian, but it's still possible. But if it is not vaccinated, it's too late.
Is it worth someone going down to the border without the paperwork in place and taking their chances, do you think?
Well, I mean, it will depend of how thorough are the people at the borders. So we don't know if they will really check everybody or not. So it depends how much time you have to kill if you want to take the chance or not. And also, I mean, the vaccine is mandatory to come back in Canada, the rabies shot. So it also depends if you want to come back in your own country.
Do you think the new rules are a bit of I don't want to call it an overreaction by the Americans. Do you think they're too stringent, or are they basically in line with what other countries have decided?
Well, for the mandatory vaccination and maybe some extra papers, they align with other countries like the European Union. But the only thing that I think it might be fairly complicated, it's the 6 months worth of veterinary files. So they want people to cross the border with their last 6 months veterinary history. And I mean, it's not everybody that is going to their veterinarian that often. So this is kind of a problem for a lot of owners.
Here's a question for one of our texters. At the border, is the intention to scan every pet that comes across? Is that what the Americans are indicating?
Yeah, probably, because the why we want the microchip is to make sure that the papers that are traveling with the dog are for this dog. So with the number on the microchip, once we have the number, we can be sure that the papers are associated to the right dog.
I had heard that there was a photo requirement too. Is that still in play?
Yes. So there's the papers that the veterinarian will have to fill, but there's also a form that the client, the owner, will have to fill a couple of days or even at the borders if they have an internet access. And there's a need for a picture of the dog, yes.
So your best advice then to travelers who are going to be heading to the border, it sounds as though you have to have your act together. If you want a smooth crossing, you are going to have to have your act together.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Thanks very much for joining us, Dr. Lynne Bouchard, President of the Association of Quebec Veterinary Doctors. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Bye.